All right, folks, gather around for another deep dive into the bizarre, the unexplained, and the downright goat-legged creepy. Tonight, we're heading to Louisville, Kentucky, home of bourbon, baseball bats, and the Pope Monster. We're talking hypnosis, mimicry, and a trestle bridge that's claimed more lives than the creature itself. Do you believe the stories, that is? So strap in, keep your ears sharp, and don't follow any mysterious voices calling you to the tracks. This is BlunderBuss, Season 3, Episode 4, The Pope Monster. Let's get weird.
Now cast unite, we're the rebels causing trouble in the night. Living fast, never on the right track. BlunderBuss podcast, ain't no turning back. Stories of conspiracy.
All right, folks. Before we dive into the story of the Pope Monster, let me hit you with this. Why did the Goat Man refuse to get a job? Because every time someone asked about his experience, he'd say, "I'm great at bridging gaps, but I tend to butt heads." Now that we've set the tone, let's cross into the legend, hopefully more safely than most.
All right.
Well, good, yeah.
You know? Well, I mean, so the Pope Monster. Have you heard of the Pope Monster?
I have not heard the Pope Monster before. This is gonna be. It sounds like entertaining. I like just by the name alone.
Yeah, Pope Monster. No, so
I'm gonna say.
I've heard of the Pope Monster, but I didn't know anything about it. I've heard of it, but nothing about it.
You just knew it was a thing.
Yeah, and then I don't know where I heard it, but when I was looking at the little things of different, ones to look that came up, and I'm like, I heard that. I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is. So
and we're in Kentucky.
We're in Kentucky.
That's
Louisville, Kentucky.
Ooh.
Also, and the Pope Monster is also known as the Goat Man. And so Pope has really nothing. It's just a location.
Okay, so Pope's a place.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a.
Well, that's not as exciting anymore.
Pope trestle bridge is where it all takes. I guess unfolds.
Ooh, a bridge. That's always a for a good tale.
Yeah. Always a bridge, right?
Oh, there's always a bridge.
If there's a bridge, it's going to be great. It is. Well, so
there's got to be a monster under the bridge.
Yeah. Asking for a riddle or something.
Right? Yeah, you have to. That's part of civil engineering 101.
Yeah.
It's like when building a bridge, you have to describe
the monster.
Yeah.
He's got to have easy access to stop you from crossing.
Yep.
And then.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's what happens. Mothman comes.
So this one's a little bit different than that. This one is believed to be calling and hypnotizing people to come to the bridge.
Where Mothman was warning people, he's like, no.
Don't, yeah. And this one's like, you're going to fucking die. Get over here. I want you to die today.
Yeah, it's your turn. Come see the bridge. So what? Okay, so yeah, I'm thoroughly enthralled. Let's hear more about this.
All right. So, we'll have Fake Kyle.
Yeah, let's
take it away.
All right, folks. Let me take you back, way back, to where this whole Pope Monster saga begins. Now buckle up, because we're diving into a swirling mix of folklore, tragedy, and maybe even a little circus freak show drama. So the most popular origin story? It all kicks off in the late 1800s. Picture a moonlit night in rural Kentucky. A steam train is chugging along the trestle over Pope Creek, carrying the kind of cargo that makes you question reality. Exotic animals, sideshow performers, and all the oddities a traveling circus could scrape together. It's a spectacle on wheels, or in this case, tracks. But then it happens. A derailment. Chaos. The train jumps the rails, crashing in a thunderous roar of twisted metal, scattering its contents like some bizarre piñata. Lions and tigers and... wait for it, a goat man? Oh my. Here's where the tale gets dark. Among the wreckage is what locals later described as a grotesque hybrid, a creature with the body of a man, but the legs, hooves, and twisted horns of a goat. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill goat farmer, folks. The story goes that this creature was one of the circus's main attractions, a so-called freak, mistreated and caged for people's amusement. And when that train hit the dirt, the creature took its chance and bolted into the woods, angry, hurt, and ready to make the world pay. Now, if you're thinking, Kyle, that sounds like something straight out of a horror novel, hold tight, because the alternative origin story is just as wild. In this version, we're dealing with satanic rituals and bad deals. Imagine a local farmer, desperate for power, standing in the middle of his barn under a blood moon, surrounded by goats he's about to sacrifice. He's chanting, calling on the forces of darkness. The deal? He wants unholy strength, knowledge, maybe just a better corn harvest. Who knows? But dark magic is tricky business, my friends. Instead of power, the farmer gets transformation. Poof! He's now a half-man, half-goat abomination. Not exactly the upgrade he was hoping for. From here, the Pope Lick monster starts building its reputation. Locals begin whispering about a shadowy figure seen lurking near the trestle. They hear strange noises at night, bleating sounds that don't quite belong to a normal goat. And of course, because we humans love a good mystery, the stories spread. What started as a few spooky tales becomes full-on folklore, the kind that gets passed around campfires with just the right amount of exaggeration. And here's the kicker. Whether you buy into the circus crash story, the satanic ritual tale, or some other version, one thing's for sure. The Pope Lick monster isn't just another cryptid. It's a symbol of everything that makes folklore so magnetic. The unknown, the eerie, and the way we humans can take a little spark of mystery and fan it into a blazing legend. So there you have it. The roots of the Pope Lick monster legend. A mix of tragedy, superstition, and just enough goat-man weirdness to keep you looking over your shoulder when you hear a twig snap in the woods. And let's be real. If this thing did escape from a circus, I can't blame it for being mad. You'd probably hold a grudge too, if your life was spent in a cage while people pointed and laughed.
So it sounds like there's two prevailing theories.
Yeah.
There's a circus freak one, where there's this train derailment. And this sentient circus freak animal guy.
Yeah, just gets,
He
probably, and I imagine he's like the I think they said he was the main attraction, right? Like everyone wants to come see the goat man.
The goat man. And, throw 5 cents, I'll let you throw something at him.
Yeah, throw something, scream at him. So what's interesting so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some form of this, actually happening naturally.
Right.
Because, there's a bunch of different diseases out there. Like, for instance, there's a disease where it looks like you're growing bark on your skin.
Right, yeah.
And it covers your entire body and eventually kills you.
Right.
But it's like... So, and I think there's also things where like people grow teeth out the side of their head and shit like that.
Grow
Right?
a horn and maybe and then P.T. Barnum's not gonna be above making you wear maybe goat pants or something. True. Yeah. So but the other side of this. So it's like, okay, it's the circus animal or circus man. I shouldn't call him an animal because he's clearly sentient.
Sentient.
Yeah.
Human. Yeah.
Yeah. Humanish.
Human hybrid.
Chimera. Or the other version is local farmers like, you know what? Fuck it.
I'm going to make a deal with the devil.
I want the world.
Through death and sacrifice.
I guess that would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Kyle's an expert because he was telling us that it's not easy.
I feel like he had a terrible deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like...
We might have to ask Kyle later about his dealings with black magic.
Yeah, well, he knows. He knows something. I feel like the farmer got a terrible deal.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's like...
Yeah.
He lost, he probably killed, like, how many goats he killed? Probably 2 or 3.
Probably.
I'd say blood
more.
Moon.
It's a blood moon. He's trying to get the devil.
He's trying to do it with the devil.
He might have killed hundreds. Who knows?
He killed his whole fucking flock, and then Satan was like, you know what? You're a goat man now.
Isn't that like this
He's like, no,
most famous depiction of the devil?
Yeah. And if you look at it, if you look at the pictures.
That's some good pictures.
The Pope Lick monster. He does look like a devilish kind of figure.
That's fucking freaky.
Yeah. He looks like a goat, but he looks like a goat man.
Yeah.
He looks like this is what he looks like, folks.
Humanoid goat.
Imagine a goat, but it's a man. And you're in Pope Lick. Imagine this. Picture this. So either way, circus freak, farmer. Really,
it sounds like there might be some more stories out there on where it came from. But,
yeah.
These are the two prevailing, I guess. So.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
So, like, if traditional devil has hooves, right, and horns, you think the devil's pissed off that you're like slaughtering his kin? And so like, motherfucker, you're now the goat man.
Yeah. He's like, he was just mad about it. He's like, dude, you don't have to kill all these goats.
You're supposed to sacrifice humans, not goats.
And what do you even want? This isn't how any of this shit works. I don't know. I feel like this is. I want to go on the record for this, but I did try to sell my soul to the devil, for rich and fame, back when I was 18, and it did not work.
Did not work.
Did not work. In fact, it did not work.
Unless not buying.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, seems like that was a pretty cheap deal, I guess. So he's like, that is no. He's like, best I can do is turn you into a goat.
That's what it is.
It was like, he's like, you gotta kill a bunch of them, man.
It's like, too late, you're already under contract.
No! Well, if I was a goat man, I'd go to Kentucky.
There it is. I mean, that's probably the place to go. That or West Virginia. West Virginia is
maybe
good. You can hide in the hills.
You can merge these two. These two things can happen at the same time. So this farmer made this deal with Satan. He became a goat. P.T. Barnum was like, you know what? Come join my circus.
Circus, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then it turned out that he didn't like being a circus freak.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
So this is where he escaped.
The fame wasn't what he expected.
Yeah. I feel like we're uncovering something here. We're investigative journalism.
We're going to have to do some more searching into P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, I feel like something happened here.
Yeah. Let's see if who's the other major circus at the time that God, I can't think of.
P.T. Barnum and
like his main rival. I can't remember. But anyway,
the other guy. The elephant.
Is that the Les Miserables musical? Was
P.T.
Barnum and someone else?
Yeah, I think that was Les Mis. I'm pretty sure.
There it is.
And they were just like cats.
Let me. I would follow Hugh Jackman anywhere. P.T. Barnum anywhere.
Now we're onto something. Let's get Hugh Jackman in a cat suit.
There it is.
Singing about being a circus.
I don't know if I'd watch that. Circus freak.
I know a lot of people would watch that.
They probably would.
I know a lot of people. Let's call us Hollywood. All right.
So, I think so. What I did here was Kyle prepared some additional things and he's going to go into some stories. I believe we prepared this a few days ago, so I can't remember exactly what it covered, but a few stories.
Be surprised to you.
Then there was like 2 major tragedies that we're going to cover.
Oh shit! Okay, it does get serious. Okay.
Yeah, it does get serious. All right. Here we go. Besides, a train derailment possibility. That's crazy too. People died.
The slaughtering of a bunch of goats.
How many elephants died in that derailment?
Probably 6 or 7.
Yeah,
if you have a circus, you can't. They
don't
give you a license unless you have like 6 fucking elephants.
You gotta have at least 6, or you're not a circus. That's just
legally.
Legally, yeah. The United States, it's a federal law, I think, in order to be a circus in the United States. 6 elephants, 6 plus. Emphasis on the plus.
That's how they keep the little guy down.
You're never going to make it because you got to buy 6 elephants.
That's right. That's why there's only 2 circus people: P.T. Barnum and the other guy.
They're the only ones that could afford the elephants to become a circus under federal law. That's how it works. That's the American dream, I think, right? That is become a circus owner here in. Okay.
Only 6 elephants.
All right, here we go. Let's hear what Kyle has to say.
The sightings, the whispers, the eerie experiences that gave the Pope Lick Monster its legend without the body count. At least, not yet. Picture this. It's the 1930s, rural Kentucky. The world is quieter back then. No cell phones, no endless streams of TikToks to distract you. Just the sounds of nature, the hum of a distant train, and maybe, just maybe, a bleating cry that doesn't quite sound like it belongs to a regular goat. The early stories about the Pope Lick Monster aren't so much about direct encounters, but the feelings it left behind. Locals started talking about something strange near the trestle, not just the usual superstitions, but specific unsettling things. There were reports of glowing eyes in the underbrush, big, menacing, and watching. Imagine walking home in the dim light of dusk, and just beyond the edge of the woods, two faintly glowing orbs are staring right at you. Do you run? Do you pretend you didn't see it? Or do you just stand there, frozen, hoping it doesn't come any closer? Because that's what some folks claim to experience. Then there were the sounds. People said they'd hear goat-like bleats at night, but not the kind you'd expect from your standard farm animal. These were warped, low and guttural, like something trying to sound like a goat, but not quite nailing it. If you were unlucky enough to be wandering near the trestle after dark, you might even hear your name being called in a familiar voice, softly at first, then louder, drawing you closer to the tracks. That's where the legend of its mimicry starts to take root. The idea that the Pope Lick monster could imitate voices, luring people to their doom. And then there's the dare culture. By the 1950s, the Pope Lick monster had become a local legend strong enough to fuel teenage stupidity. Kids would dare each other to visit the trestle at night, sometimes alone, sometimes in groups, just to see if they could catch a glimpse of the creature. The goal? Prove you weren't scared. Or maybe, just maybe, come back with a story to tell. The rules of the dare varied depending on who you asked. Some said you had to walk the entire length of the trestle at midnight, risking the long drop below. Others claimed you needed to bring a goat as bait, because apparently being tethered to prey makes you extra safe. Either way, the dares cemented the legend as a rite of passage in Louisville folklore. Now, did anyone ever actually see the monster? That's where things get murky. Some claimed they saw a shadowy figure darting beneath the trestle, moving faster than anything human. Others said they saw hoof prints in the dirt, big ones, way too large for a regular goat. And then there were the stories of fleeting glimpses, a goat-legged figure standing in the shadows, watching, always watching. But when you turned to get a better look, gone. Just like that. By the 1970s, the stories of these non-tragic encounters had evolved into a sort of supernatural mythology. The Pope Lick monster wasn't just some cryptid lurking in the woods. It had abilities. People swore it could hypnotize you, pulling you toward the trestle against your will. Others claimed it had superhuman strength, able to leap across the trestle in a single bound. And some said it wasn't just one creature but a whole lineage, descendants of the original hybrid, roaming the Kentucky woods and protecting their territory. Now, were these sightings real? Or were they the result of a mix of fear, imagination, and the eerie atmosphere of a secluded railway trestle? Honestly, does it matter? The power of the Pope Lick monster wasn't in whether it was real or not. It was in how it made people feel. That creeping sense of unease, the chill that ran down your spine when you walked too close to the trestle at night. That's where legends thrive, my friends. In the shadows, in the fear of the unknown.
So wait, did we talk about the
tragedy yet? Not yet. This is just, some of the stories involved and what the locals thought and did.
I feel like it's
regarding its, myths and legend.
It's wild. The things that would go on back in the day.
Yeah.
Like sneaking out and going and playing on the railroad tracks.
It's like, I forget how long, but it was like 100-foot drop or something.
Yeah. And
how dare you to cross that bridge at night?
Yeah, and midnight. When a train's coming, that's the only way you'll see.
God, we were dumb as kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I also think it's weird that one of the things was to bring a goat as bait.
Yeah.
So, and I looked that up. I didn't really see, other than them saying that was, what they did, any, evidence that it actually provoke the goat man. Like, he would come and eat the goat. Like, I don't understand. Or maybe the bait was to come and release the goat.
Is it like
because I guess there wasn't really talking about eating it either, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's just like, bring a goat, maybe.
Bring a friend. He might come out and be like, hey what's up, y'all?
We're going over to the fucking Pope Lick Creek Trestle Bridge, bro. Bring the goat.
Bring the goat.
Bring the goat. It's midnight.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably talking about redneck farmers, Hard.
Going out there.
Crazy teenagers, bring the goat.
I guess that's true, man. I guess, man. But I feel like we skipped a big section of time too. Like in the 1800s, this freak got out. This freak man.
And then and that's what I kind of like. All the stories that I was seeing was basically just talking about, potential sightings, or they heard whispers and, stuff like that.
Right.
So I didn't really have any good stories that I could find right off. So we just kind of.
No, I mean, even reading through it too, it's like we just kind of jumped through time. It's like he was just watching, waiting. That's what Fake House said. Watching, waiting. I'm like, yeah, he did. He watched and waited for like 100 years.
And then it was like, you know what?
I can actually do a bunch of cool shit.
Also, the goat lick monster is immortal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or can live hundreds of years, right?
And he has superpowers. He's like, I was actually really into being in the circus.
Yeah, maybe he was building his lair for 100 years, and then it came out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to. Or maybe you just prey off. Maybe you just prey off all the goats that are around. I mean, it's 1800s. There's lots of goats, and if you're the goat man, you're probably just slaughtering goats, and then that's when you start congregating around this bridge, because that's where these kids start bringing goats.
You're like, goddamn, these kids are bringing me goats. And now I'm going to make appearances.
I gotta start tricking these kids to keep bringing me goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. But imagine walking the bridge at night and seeing the giant goat man jumping over the bridge, apparently.
Yeah, Hulk style. Because the trestle bridge, it's not short. It's supposed to be pretty long. So
yeah, and it's over a creek, right? So
yeah, it's like Hulk leap.
Holy shit.
Maybe that's where the Hulk got it, right? It was the goat man that inspired the Hulk leap.
Yeah. This is based on a true story.
Based on a true story that happened in Louisville, Kentucky. Goat man.
Goat man.
Or the Pope
Lick goat
monster.
We should remake all of our episodes into Dick Wolf series drama.
We can do it.
Last time I saw the Pope Lick monster, he was jumping over the bridge, if you know what I'm saying.
You saw that too? But where are the drugs?
Yeah. And the cops just start shooting.
Yep, there it is. Take him out.
Yeah.
Sorry, learned to jump to get away.
That's it. Right.
All right, part two. This is where we go into, I believe, the first tragedy.
Okay.
The first tragedy, the major tragedy that was linked to the Pope Lick monster. And Kyle, again, put this together. He's a good storyteller. I like listening to him.
Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah.
Let him go.
Go for a fake.
This is where the Pope Lick monster legend takes a tragic turn. We're diving into part 3, the 1987 incident, the moment the story of a creepy cryptid lurking near a trestle turned into something far darker and far more real. It's the late 1980s. The Pope Lick monster is already a well-known legend in Louisville, Kentucky, especially among the local teenagers. By this point, daring your friends to cross the Pope Lick trestle at night wasn't just a spooky challenge. It was practically a rite of passage. The stories were everywhere. Walk the trestle at midnight and you'd either see the monster or feel its presence. Stand too close to the edge and the creature might appear to shove you off. Or worse, it might hypnotize you, pulling you onto the tracks just as a train approaches. Real or not, the stories had power, and that power drew people in. Enter Jack J.C. Charles Baum II, a 17-year-old high school student. By all accounts, J.C. was just a regular kid, curious, daring, maybe a little too much for his own good. On one fateful night in 1987, J.C. and some friends decided to see if the stories were true. Maybe they wanted to prove they weren't scared. Maybe they wanted a story to tell. Or maybe, like so many others, they were just drawn in by the allure of the legend. Now, here's the thing about the Pope Lick trestle. It's not some abandoned piece of history. It's an active railway with trains passing through multiple times a day. And let me tell you, when you're standing on that trestle, there's nowhere to go if a train comes. It's a long, narrow bridge high above the creek with no railings, no walkways, and no way down except a deadly fall or a deadly collision. But despite all that, JC and his friends climbed up there, looking for the monster. As the story goes, they made their way onto the tracks. Maybe they were looking for hoof prints. Maybe they were hoping to hear the eerie bleats or see those glowing eyes. Or maybe, just maybe, they were starting to feel that strange pull, the hypnotic lure the Pope Lick monster was said to use to draw its victims closer. And then it happened. A train, a real, actual train, thundering down the tracks. The engineers reportedly blew the whistle, tried to slow down, but there was nothing they could do. The trestle isn't a place where you can step aside to let a train pass. It's either jump or get hit. JC didn't make it off in time. He was struck and killed, his young life cut short in the most horrific way imaginable. Now, here's where the story takes on another layer. For decades, people have debated what really happened that night. Was JC just a curious teen caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was there something more? Some believe the Pope Lick monster was responsible. Not physically, but through its supposed hypnotic powers. Maybe it lured him onto the trestle. Maybe it distracted him just long enough to seal his fate. Or maybe the legend itself was the monster, drawing people in with its dark allure and leaving them to face the very real danger of an oncoming train. After JC's death, the Pope Lick monster legend took on a new, somber weight. It wasn't just a spooky story anymore. It was a warning. A cautionary tale about curiosity, risk, and the fine line between thrill-seeking and tragedy. Local authorities started cracking down on trespassers, putting up signs and fencing to keep people away. But the legend was too strong. Instead of scaring people off, the tragedy only added to the trestle's mystique. People started to wonder, if the monster wasn't real, then why did so many people feel drawn to that dangerous spot? And if it was real, could it actually be responsible for what happened to JC? To this day, the 1987 incident stands as a grim reminder of the dangers of mixing folklore with reality. Whether you believe the Pope Lick monster is an actual creature, a supernatural force, or just a story spun out of control, one thing is clear. Its legend has real consequences. And JC's story is a heartbreaking example of how curiosity can sometimes lead us to places we should never go.
So yeah, I think that whenever older people are like, those young people are so stupid, they eat Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Well, you guys used to play on fucking bridges that you get run over if there's a train up there.
100%. They have no fucking box to stand on.
Exactly,
right? No soapbox there.
I'm looking forward to standing on that soapbox soon, though.
Yeah, no, it's
one.
coming,
yeah,
right?
I'm
already thinking, what the fuck is that dumbass kid thinking?
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And
teenagers.
Like you said earlier, where was the goat?
Yeah, I think that's probably that's one of the questions I have is if JC was there looking for the Pope Lick monster, how many goats did he have with him? Because that will determine what happened that night, I think. Anyway,
so, yeah, it's just...
Rip JC.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, very real physical danger and threat, not only the fall, but an active fucking railway that has trains going through it multiple times a day. Yeah. And you're going to be caught in the middle of that bridge. So how long is that bridge? Like, that's
a good question. What is... Poor JC, man.
I can't. Let's see if I can find out.
Getting ran over by a train, but no, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say some highly offensive shit, but I will not.
Let's see. I'll use my friend Google here. Hopefully,
it tells you how long it is.
Oh, it says I don't have internet access.
Oh,
do you have internet access?
I do have internet access.
What happened?
I don't know.
It was there, and then it ran away from me there.
This is
the
Pope Lick Bridge.
772 feet is the distance of the bridge.
There's 300 feet in a football field, so it's 2 football fields?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long... And can you imagine a train bearing down on you at full speed?
Trying to get away.
And you have to...
You got all these fucking goats that you brought.
Goddamn goats. They don't want to run, and you're trying to get these goats across the bridge safely, You're done. Can you imagine trying to run?
The goat man's on the other side, like,
Yeah. Like, no!
hurry, JC, run! Run! My goats! My goats!
That's so bad.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
But they're, across the... God, can you imagine trying to outrun? Like, regardless of what... But, like, a fucking train's coming at you.
Yeah.
You know you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, he should have jumped. Obviously.
Jump 100 feet
or,
to your death.
Maybe...
Well, how tall was it? So,
yeah, so maybe that's...
Let's see here. How long? Okay, how tall? And we're waiting for Google to search again, because, Google is fantastic. Oh, and it's telling me that I don't have internet again. Cool.
Let's see if...
Will it come in? Man, my Wi-Fi is acting up. Oh, hey, so the TikTok ban's already over.
Yeah, thank God.
So, man, they managed to ban TikTok for like 14 hours in
Dude,
the United States.
But I have a banger opinion. I feel like they're saying, okay, the problem is TikTok is collecting. It's a national security threat.
Yeah.
Because TikTok has all the data from a bunch of people, and you could basically get a bunch of know anything about anybody, basically. Well, that's what Facebook's doing. That's what Google's doing. The elephant in the room is that it's not just TikTok. It's that there's a problem with our data privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. So a real fix to this problem is data privacy laws.
Data privacy.
Yeah.
Laws. No, that's too much.
GDRP. I should be able to opt out of it, and I should make every developer cry every 10 seconds. Because I should be able to email them and be like, I should be able to delete all my data.
They have over in Europe.
In the Europe, yeah.
European.
Yeah.
You have to delete their data.
You should be able to delete all your data if they wanted to.
So in Europe, they let you do that. It's law. You say, hey, you're no longer allowed to have my data, and that place has to delete it or it gets removed from the country.
Right, or they're not allowed to operate there.
Yep.
But that's my understanding of GDPR. Whatever fucking law that European.
Law, yeah.
Also, I don't know how to say it, so don't fucking quote me on what the fuck their law is. But anyways, I think that
also known as juniper.
Yeah.
Yeah, juniper.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know what the public monster. Do you think the public monster has a TikTok?
He's probably he lives out underneath a bridge in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so he definitely has.
He's got
LTE.
one. He's got one. We just gotta find it. It's on TikTok somewhere, because even the public monster.
Yeah, he's
got one.
He also has
a
strong opinion.
Yeah. So it says it's a 90-foot drop.
Okay.
What is that? Is it like 10 foot supposed to be a story?
Yeah, so it's nine stories.
And probably maybe a little shorter.
You're probably gonna die. Yeah. You're probably gonna die.
You're not gonna survive.
Well, especially
you could survive.
I mean,
maybe you'll hit some tree branches on the way down that slows you down enough to where you only have badly broken bones.
JC definitely didn't survive.
Yeah. Well, I think
he probably shouldn't have put all those goats
in that situation. That's a fucking scary ass situation. In that situation, when you know you're going to die, do you just turn, and let the train smash it, or do you jump?
Dude, I feel like
what is your decision there?
I feel like you jump. You have to.
A few more seconds of life.
Yeah.
Before it's all gone, and there's a chance you might survive.
You might survive the jump. I feel like yeah.
I would say that, like, which is the better chance of survival, getting hit by the train or the drop?
But you have to realize that, though, in the middle of running from a fucking train, that you're gonna get eaten by the Poplick train.
Yeah, the Poplick
monster train.
That's the real Poplick monster. It's fucking trains.
The legend has it. The Poplick monster was the conductor.
The conductor of the train. There it is. He's the one out there. Oh, I hear there's some teenagers coming out tonight. I can smell my goats.
I have to get my train going.
Let me get my train.
Gotta get this train going. There's a ghost. There's a ghost goat train.
Ghost goat train.
That's gonna be the next iteration of this.
A 90-foot drop.
Yeah. Either way,
I hate heights.
Either way, sounds like a real fun place to play.
So, like, I got a fun story.
Well, weren't they running across the top of it too? at
Yeah,
midnight?
they were up on the
yeah.
So they're crossing the bridge. We don't know where he was at. Was he in the middle? Was he at the beginning?
Well, he was doing it wrong because you're supposed to get on top. Is what yeah.
Well, there is no like top.
Well, isn't it like a covered like trestle like?
It's not covered as far as I believe, right?
Is it? There's not. Hold on, now we have to look at this poke because now I need to know if I'm gonna jump off of it or not.
Yeah, I don't believe there is. Maybe it is covered. Let's see. Oh.
Can you run on top of it?
Oh, it is covered.
Yeah, so you could. So yeah,
oh, maybe. I can't. It looks. It might not be covered actually. I'm trying.
Yeah. Well, no, you might not be able to.
Yeah, it looks like it's.
No, it's
that weird angle. It'd be easy. Yeah, you can see where the tracks meet the ground.
Not covered.
And it is not covered. Yeah,
it's definitely not covered.
So you're literally running on the tracks.
Which seems like a really good idea.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I mean, I would have done it.
Well, especially how many goats would you take up there? At
least 10. 10 goats.
10.
I want him to be happy, right? I don't want.
Yeah, you don't want to get all the way out there and disappoint them.
I want the conductor to stop. the Poplick monster train to stop, save his goats. Like that's terrible.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it would be bad if you got up there, all the way up there, and he was disappointed.
So. I already have those goats, those kind of goats.
Yeah, I mean, might as well just get rid of them.
So now you got to talk about variety of goat species to bring with you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is really starting to get
He's
political.
really fucking picky, dude. Yeah, I don't even want to see this dude.
Goddamn goat.
Can we just chill inside?
So you think that after that kid died, that maybe, and the area decided, hey, we're going to start posting signs and putting up fences and telling people, please don't go on here because you're going to fucking die if you do.
Don't feed the Pope monster.
Don't feed the Pope
Please
monster.
Don't come in here and feed him.
You think that people would start maybe using their brain before going out here?
Maybe stop playing.
And this is me becoming an old man saying, those goddamn youngsters.
Those kids shouldn't be out there playing on the trestle bridge.
Yeah, get off my bridge.
There's a goat man out there. He's touched kids before.
But guess what?
What?
It didn't happen.
Unfortunately.
They decided, others decided to go check it out.
Humans kept being human, huh?
And our good friend Kyle has the scoop. So let's hear what he has to say.
The 2016 incident. The moment when the Pope Lick monster legend proved, once again, that even if the creature itself might be a myth, the dangers surrounding it are all too real. It's April 23rd, 2016, a spring evening in Louisville, Kentucky. Roquel Bain, a 26-year-old from Ohio, is visiting the area with her boyfriend. They're here for something completely unrelated, a ghost tour at the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, one of Kentucky's other famously haunted spots. But like any good thrill seekers, they can't resist the lure of a local legend. Somewhere along the way, they hear about the Pope Lick monster. Maybe it's a friend's suggestion, maybe it's an internet search, or maybe they just overhear someone talking about the creepy half-man, half-goat cryptid that supposedly haunts a trestle not far from where they're staying. Whatever the case, curiosity gets the better of them. So, instead of heading straight to their ghost tour, Roquel and her boyfriend decide to check out the Pope Lick trestle. They're not locals, so they might not know the full extent of the danger, or maybe they think it's all part of the thrill. After all, how dangerous can a little exploration be? Here's where things get serious. The Pope Lick trestle isn't just an abandoned piece of spooky architecture. It's an active railway, with trains running across it multiple times a day. And when you're up there, it's not like walking along a country road. This trestle is over 700 feet long and stands about 90 feet above the ground. There are no railings, no escape routes, and no second chances if something goes wrong. But despite all the warnings and fences designed to keep people away, the trestle has a magnetic pull, thanks to the legend of the Pope Lick monster. Roquel and her boyfriend climb onto the trestle, probably expecting to see the eerie sights or hear the strange sounds tied to the monster. Maybe they're hoping for a story to tell, a photo to share, or just the rush of doing something a little dangerous. But then it happens. A train. A real train. Barreling down the tracks. And here's the thing about trains. They don't sneak up on you. The engineers can see them. They blow the whistle. But when you're on the trestle, 90 feet in the air with nowhere to go, there's precious little time to react. In the chaos, Roquel's boyfriend manages to cling to the side of the trestle, narrowly avoiding disaster. But Roquel isn't so lucky. She's struck by the train and falls to her death, her life tragically cut short. She wasn't chasing a monster. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She was just a curious young woman, caught in the dangerous intersection of myth and reality. Now let's talk about the aftermath. Roquel's death sparked renewed attention to the Pope Lick Trestle, the monster, and the people it seems to draw in. Was it the legend itself that lured her there? Was it the allure of the unknown? Or was it simply human curiosity, the same thing that's fueled exploration and discovery throughout history? Whatever the case, the tragedy highlighted the very real dangers of chasing legends in places where the risks are all too tangible. Local authorities, as they've done countless times before, issued new warnings about the trestle. They reminded people that it's private property, that it's dangerous, and that no story is worth risking your life. But here's the thing. The Pope Lick monster legend has a way of pulling people in, despite all the warnings. For some, it's the thrill of proving they're brave enough to face the danger. For others, it's the hope of encountering something otherworldly, something that breaks the monotony of everyday life. And for people like Roquel, it's a tragic reminder of how quickly a little curiosity can turn into something far more devastating. So what do we take away from this? The Pope Lick monster might not have laid a hoof on Roquel Bane, but its legend, its pull, was there, as it has been for decades. Whether you believe in the monster or not, the trestle has claimed lives. And in the end, that's what makes this story so haunting.
The real monster is the trestle the whole time. I feel like you should look at it and you're like, what's that movie? Is it The Goonies?
The Goonies?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that plays like, I mean, even like just stepping back, like even us talking about it, like it's like how would we survive? Because it's like the Hollywood trope. That's why people are up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's Miss Roquel Bane. They're on vacation there or whatever. She thought it was all fun.
She was there on like, what was it, a tour of some.
Yeah.
So she was there in the same realm of,
like this is all fun.
Well, here's this story too.
Yeah.
Let's go
we
check
could just.
It out.
And then her boyfriend.
They don't have to pay for
it. Her boyfriend freaking held onto the tracks,
hanging off the side, and know that thing's fucking shaking like crazy with a fucking train on top of it.
But that does answer the question. I mean, all respect to Ms. Maiden here aside, that does answer the question of how you would survive that.
Yep.
You don't jump off. You don't stand in front of the train. You have to hang on, and then after the train's done, pull yourself back up.
Can you imagine that though? Like that had to be a feat, because how long did it take for that train to pass?
Yeah,
you're holding on for dear life because the thing's shaking like crazy, and then you just watched your girlfriend die.
Right.
Jesus,
yeah. They're fucking how terrible. Trains are not to be fucked with. I feel like it's easy to underestimate a fucking train, but yeah, I've the real Pope Lick monster was the train itself. Yeah. The train itself. Which robber baron owns the train? I mean, there can't be very many people running around with mustaches and top hats out there.
Probably still a few. We should look.
Yeah, figure out who owns that, and maybe they should do something.
Well, it's such, and the other thing, so like we're talking about like fences. So they put up fences, they put up signs. It's a freaking railway, they can't run a fence the distance. It's impossible. So they could get around and get in, and most likely it's open on one side, and actually both sides probably, for the train to pass through.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, and it's and it's not like they have any other way of getting through the gorge, right?
Yeah,
it's a train, right? So
I don't know. It's crazy, and I know it's kind of like a sad, dark story here, but
yeah,
it just shows how, I guess, how these stories can really impact people. Like they want to go find something.
Yeah, they thought they were there for fun. They were having a good time until they weren't.
It's just very interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something that, you know, if you want to go check out something, don't put yourself in danger.
don't get on
Don't
get on the train tracks.
If you see a sign that says "Warning: Active Railway,"
yeah,
your next thought shouldn't be, "I should walk out onto the bridge." You know, like.
You know what? I bet that monster's really out there.
Yeah.
That's why they put the signs up.
This was during the day though, right? It was during the day or in the evening?
It was like before they were about to go to
Yeah, so they can like see the other side of the bridge, right?
Or some shit.
So like
yeah.
Like, oh, let's go check it out. And then Kyle said something very important there. A train will not sneak up on you.
Yeah.
It's not silent.
Yeah.
So you heard it coming.
You knew.
The problem is were they on the middle of the bridge when they heard it coming, and that thing's moving so fast it easily ran them down? Or what's the story there? Like,
yeah,
did they think it wasn't on the railway?
Like how much of a surprise did they have? Yeah.
Craziness.
It is wild. Don't play on train tracks. Is what I hear. Well, and I guess if you believe the cryptid here, the Pope Lick monster lured Raquel Bain and her Chad of a fucking boyfriend.
Yeah. Doing pull-ups on the side of the bridge, chin-ups, as it's going past. You know, and many thoughts have come. You're like, so could she have like held on to him? Could he held on to her? Like, I don't know. Like, that's impossible. You can't like. And I imagine he was probably thinking, you know, I could have done so. I could have saved her or some shit like that. But it's like, one, you probably didn't have much time to react, and two,
shouldn't have been up there.
Could you have held on to that bridge while it's shaking with someone on your back, or?
Well, it sounds like he might have been able to.
Yeah, potentially, I guess, right?
Well,
and add another 100 pounds to it.
All right, well, here's another layer. If the Pope Lick monster is real, and he's not luring these people to the death, what's he doing to prevent these people?
Yeah, he's out there just watching them.
Just they're not bringing him enough goats to make this sustainable at all. Yeah.
So he really is a monster. He's an evil dude.
He is.
He's just watching people die.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So there it is.
You know what? I think we should find him, put him in a cage, and sell tickets.
Tour him across the country. $5 to throw this tomato at him. There it is. That's how we get this, you know, reparations for deaths to families.
What's the platform now? We have a GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe.
Yeah, if you also support putting an end to this heinous creature, the Pope Lick monster,
go to the GoFundMe.
Go to BlunderBuss GoFundMe. With your money, we're gonna find this creature.
We're putting him in a cage. Then we have to buy 6 elephants to be legitimate in the United States, and then we're going to tour him across the country as a circus. It's the BlunderBuss circus.
The BlunderBuss. You heard it here, folks. Yeah, here
the
first.
Beginning of our next adventure starts today.
All right.
That's
BlunderBussCircus.com.
Yep. Then we don't even show the 6 elephants. That's not what it's about. You know, they're going to be in the back. We're going to have the Pope Lick monster center stage.
He's going to pay for his crimes.
We're going to let you just throw rotten food at him.
Technically, he's not human, so
we're not going to give him any goats.
No, we're going to.
But we'll put him in a cage, and we'll let the goats run free around him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how revenge.
He'll be so mad.
Yeah.
Watch out for our next train derailment.
Yeah, he gets out and kills us.
Because he might be on that. He might be on that train.
If he has magical powers, he might have caused the train derail. I mean, we don't know. You
know
what? I might just stay away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Depends on how much money we get. GoFundMe, then we can.
Exactly.
We don't have to do the dirty work ourselves. We can send a group down to get them.
True.
Travel the trestle at night.
We can send the blunderheads.
Well, yeah, the blunderhead we'll go down and
Yeah,
get him.
us and the Blunderheads will go down there and get that goat man.
We'll be down at the bottom. You're like, yeah, right up there. You know, they're walking across the bridge. Right there. Put the goat right there. Good.
Oh no, the train!
No, the train. No. Yep. Let's not dwell on the potential bad. This will work.
We're gonna do lots of things different.
Don't do it.
You can only come if you can do 50 pull-ups.
Yeah. That's physical requirement. We gotta watch you do 15 pull-ups before you can come with us. We're gonna be smart about it.
We're gonna be real.
You have to have good upper body strength. If you don't have upper body strength, I'm sorry, you're not crossing the bridge.
We can't let you.
You.
Sorry, but you can throw something at him after we catch it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. You can be a part of it.
So yeah, check out the calendar. Check out our GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BlunderBuss circus.
Yeah. Just gotta get 6 elephants.
How do you get 6 elephants? I don't know. We can. Can't we message like the Tiger King? I bet he knows somebody.
Yeah, but he knows. I bet
where you can get an elephant or 2.
I bet you like if you know someone who knows somebody and who knows somebody. I bet you can. We can. Yeah, let's get on our LinkedIn.
Put it on there. The BlunderBuss LinkedIn. We need to get that up.
Just start posting wild things.
Our website's still up. So hey, I forgot to pay the annual fee.
Okay.
So I had to redo it, and it's back online for a little bit.
You almost got domain part.
So what I'm doing is I'm changing it completely to not focus on 3D printing, but to focus on our podcast. Okay. So I'm getting rid of all the other stuff and just having a basic landing page for us so we can have our podcast up on it. And our podcast is on it right now.
Nice.
It is published. So
it's published, and you can go there and you can check it out.
BlunderBuss3D.com.
Yep.
Might change the domain now.
BlunderBuss.com is like $1 billion.
Yeah, it's probably already taken.
Yeah, we could do BlunderBuss.io or some shit.
I don't know. I have to listen to previous episodes when we were looking at it.
.cast. .x.
We're gonna say bullshit. What was the middle one? I'm almost there or something like that. God, I gotta listen to the other episode before.
We just decide on a new scale right now.
Let's do it. The scale.
Okay. The scale is bullshit.
Bullshit.
And totally true. Or 100%.
So we'll say bullshit. We'll say truth.
Truth.
On the one end, right? And what's our middle? Do we also have 25, 50, and 75? What are we talking about?
Oh, shit.
It's getting really complicated.
And I think last time I put them on a scale.
Yeah.
And now I don't fucking remember where we're at on the scale.
Where we're at.
This definitely didn't happen.
Didn't happen?
No, I feel like the 100-year-old circus freak that started luring people into the train tracks. Yeah,
so I think I have to think about how I'm going to do it. So you're saying bullshit.
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
And I agree that the goat man is bullshit. But I also believe that its legend is killing people.
That is a factually correct thing. So you're saying that you're saying the Poplick monster is the legend of it itself.
Yeah, not an actual monster that exists.
It's like a meta monster.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm terrified.
So
you're saying it's real.
Infinity,
it's real.
I'm saying the legend has real dangers. Tangible that we saw, or we've read, heard about here. 2 deaths related not to the bridge, but the actual legend of the Poplick monster.
The Poplick, yeah.
The bridge is what, eventually got him, but...
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that's a good point.
But yes, I believe the goat man is complete bullshit. There's no...
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, especially when you start getting a bunch of different origin stories.
Yeah, and
one is black magic.
one's a farmer killed a bunch of goats, and I didn't. There wasn't a single cop that corroborated
the story.
Yeah, so that I feel like last time
no official records,
no official documentation.
Just he said, she said.
Oh no! Here comes a train.
Bullshit.
That's copyright.
There it is. Oh yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say that.
We'll just say hearsay.
It's all about the he said, she said, hearsay.
Yeah, it's all hearsay. No actual facts or evidence. So, there
we go.
Bullshit.
I like it.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the eerie legend of the Pope Lick Monster. From circus train crashes to hypnotic bleats, we've uncovered the chilling tales and the very real tragedies surrounding this Kentucky cryptid. Whether you believe in the goat man lurking on the trestle or just love a good spooky story, the Pope Lick Monster reminds us that some legends are best left untested. Don't forget to subscribe to BlunderBuss and leave us a review, preferably one that doesn't involve glowing eyes staring from the woods. Follow us on social media for updates, sneak peeks, and maybe even a few cryptid memes to keep the vibe going. Until next time, stay curious but cautious, and remember, it's always okay to chase a good mystery, just not onto active train tracks. This is Kyle, Connor, and Dave, signing off.